Good evening, everybody. Before we kick it off, I actually just want to point out that was probably the coolest video intro that we have done ever. That was badass. So kudos
I was dancing
on that one.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Career Retrospective. Tonight, we are taking on the visionary, the revolutionary, the architect of the Shield, Seth Freakin Rollins. How's everybody doing tonight? We're doing good?
Doing great.
Got some familiar faces in here. Shadow. Yeah, we got Cam over here to my left or my right. I don't know how it's looking. I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys as usual. We got Sammy.
Oh my
God. Down on the bottom, underneath Sammy, where he prefers to be, is Sean.
He's the bottom.
Whoa.
Joining us for the first time tonight, we got CJ. And we got Blaze. All right, don't say anything then. Okay, fine. That's fine. Whatever. Fuck you too, dude. All right. No. Happy affiliate anniversary from Off the Top Media. That's pretty cool. How long have we been an affiliate? No idea. Okay, I'm sure he'll put it in there. Anyways, we got a full panel tonight, so we're not going to beat around the bush. We're going to jump right into this tonight. You guys ready to talk about the revolutionary, the visionary, Seth Freakin Rollins? All right, let's go. I mean, we could go into his indie days for days and days and days. The dude went. Apparently, his first ring name was Gix, which is based on a Dungeons and Dragons character, I think, or Magic the Gathering, or something like that. I don't know, some nerdy shit. Excuse me. Changed his ring name to Tyler Black and went to PWG and Ring of Honor, won the Ring of Honor World title, signed with WWE in 2010 to FCW, changed his ring name to Seth Rollins, as we know now. Rebranded FCW to NXT, Seth Rollins ended up becoming the inaugural NXT champion. 2012 Survivor Series, wrestling changed forever. Seth Rollins made his main roster debut alongside Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in a faction that we now know as the Shield. They ran roughshod for 2 years over the main roster, and they defeated every single Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer that was put in front of them for the next 2 years. After feuding with Evolution and beating the hell out of them both times they faced them, one of the most iconic heel turns in pro wrestling history belongs to Seth Rollins when he turned on the Shield. We have seen callbacks to this heel turn a couple of times in the past couple of years, but for being, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that, I think it's 10 years ago now, it stands the test of time as Bash up there with Bash at the Beach from Hulk Hogan. I fully believe that. Rollins went on to win Money in the Bank, proceeded to cash it in during the main event of WrestleMania 31, the first person and still the only person to ever do it during a match, and he did it during the main event at WrestleMania 31. He's feuded with pretty much everyone you could think of on the main roster. He's the second Grand Slam champion to do it twice. He's the second two-time Grand Slam champion behind The Miz. The Miz was the first one. He's won every title over again in the WWE. He was a Royal Rumble winner in 2019. This was the thing that I found kind of interesting. He's won the tag team championship 6 times in WWE with 5 different partners. He's won it with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Braun Strowman, Jason Jordan, and Buddy Murphy. So 5 different people he's won the tag titles with, and that's just dude's all over the place. Obviously, we know where Seth Rollins is now. He just lost the World Heavyweight title to Drew McIntyre, who then immediately lost it to Damian Priest 5 minutes later. Before we kind of dive into like the whole roundtable discussion, I kind of want to throw something out there too. And I said this when the cameras were still rolling for WrestleMania as the main event finished up. And then The Rock says it a few days later in an interview. Seth Rollins was the MVP of WrestleMania weekend completely. Like, put on one of the most incredible tag matches we've ever seen at WrestleMania between The Rock, Roman Reigns, him, and Cody Rhodes. And that match went 45 minutes, and Seth Rollins took an ass beating throughout that entire match.
Nope.
turns around the next day, puts over Drew McIntyre, who in turn puts over Damian Priest right after that. Honestly, that match was exactly what it should have been. Rollins was hurt, had his ass beat already. That match lasted, 8 minutes? And then he comes out and still continues to be this thorn in the side of Roman Reigns that he's been for the last 10 years. And is ultimately Roman Reigns' downfall in the match because he could have taken out Cody Rhodes, hit him with a kill shot, but Seth was right there and he just took his opportunity. Does anyone disagree with me on that he was the MVP of the weekend? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Everyone's right on there with me, it seems like. All right.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to note in that, though, I don't think it was meant to be caught on camera, at least in my opinion, and I know Scal shares the same sentiment with it. When he said, "You fucking deserve it" to Drew.
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily think that was supposed to be caught on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was actually a moment between, the humans.
Right. And so I was thinking about that too. Part of me thinks that Seth didn't know that Damian Priest was going to come and cash in his title afterwards because he seemed so genuinely happy and emotional over Drew McIntyre winning that match that it seemed like he thought that that's all it was going to be that was it. But I think Seth Rollins, Scal said it too, apparently. Apparently, TJ is here now. If we want to go ahead and let him in, he can pop in whenever he's ready.
He's right there on the screen, my guy.
Oh, I think it
Hello.
See him. Oh my God. What's up, TJ?
Nothing much.
I didn't even
Glad to
see
be
him.
here, discussing one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hey, Big E, you want to turn on your camera or no?
Y'all won't get banned, right? Because I'm still in the car. I just didn't want y'all to get banned.
It's not TikTok, homie.
We're on.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's also very dark because I have permanent stealth mode enabled. Right.
Fair enough.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Oh, God. All right. So now we can kind of we're going to jump right into this roundtable discussion. We got a full, 7, 8 people in here. 9 if you count the baby. We are ready to go. So we'll just start right with in-ring work. We're going to rate Seth Rollins' in-ring work on a scale of 1 to 10 and why you think so. Cam, we'll start with you.
I'll say an 8.5. And I say 8.5 because he just has this ability to be able to adapt to whoever he's in the ring with very, very well. Especially at WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania, you can tell is obviously his favorite event annually. So he really goes out there and he tries to perform and he tries to make sure that his performance is the performance to have the other matches after that top that. So I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay. Blaze, I see you disagreeing a little bit. What you got for us?
I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna do a 9. I'll be nice. He's good in the ring. He does adapt. I agree with Cam on that. There's just some things that over the past couple of years he has done repetitively. Starting off, he did incorporate a lot of new maneuvers, started changing up a little bit, but over the past couple of years he has been doing some repetitive things. Don't know if that has to do with just him aging, his body just not being able to get take the bumps like it used to be, but I'll give him a 9.
Okay. Real quick, new to this world says Prime Gaming new to this. What the hell is that? Okay. He says his favorite Rollins moment was in Ring of Honor when his tag team, the Age of the Fall, hung Jay Briscoe and bled him all over Jimmy Jacobs. That's fucked up. I never saw that happen. I'm gonna have to look it up. All right. Sammy, how about you? In-ring work.
I have to agree with that. I have to give my man a 9. He's great at what he does. Even when he's hurt, he still performs a great show for us, no matter what. Like this year at WrestleMania, he did Rock and Roman, and then he did his own match, and then at the very end, he still was able to sneak in there and do a third, pretty much showcase in a third match. So he just keeps entertaining us and surprising us, and he's the best of the best. Besides, who. So.
Besides, who. All right, TJ, how about you, my man?
CJ or TJ?
CJ.
TJ. Okay. All right. So I give him a 9.
Oh,
As
okay.
What?
Go ahead.
All right. I give him a 9 as well. And that not only is he great in the ring, he's a great trainer to other wrestlers. Like, who's the guy? Is the guy in NXT?
Nathan Frazier.
Frazier.
Yeah, Nathan Frazier.
After watching what he can do, it's a lot like Seth Rollins, and I just see a lot of it, like a lot of Seth Rollins in him. So, I mean, he's really talented. So, I give him a 9.
Fair enough. All right, TJ.
I'd go as far as saying a 9.5 because, like y'all said, he's constantly innovating. And I know it's the one clip everybody shares all the time about Seth. It was the Shield, I think, versus the Wyatt family. When Seth had that fucking comeback moment, did the fucking backflip off the turnbuckle, into the suicide dive, all that shit. But it feels like with age, he's getting faster somehow, whereas other people might be slowing down a little bit to get safer. It's like he's somehow getting faster and getting stronger while still being safe. And he, to me, is an all-around technician. Like, he can do the high flyer stuff. He can do the technical shit, but he can also be a powerhouse. Like, we've seen it before, like the type of guys he could pick up and fucking hit with power bombs and shit. And the reason why I really give him that 0.5 is for one move and one move only. When he busted out that fucking 360 frog splash against Cesaro at Mania 37. That shit, that shit was gas.
Oh, yeah. Sean, how about you?
Well, as someone who's been blessed to see him since like Wrestling Society X on that fucking what you would call a mud show on MTV, just straight up just stunts and explosions and everything. Up until, obviously now, I give him a 9 because he's never really slowed down. He's just only gotten better, and he's been killing it ever since.
Rollins has the ability I call the Orton gene.
Oh,
Just like Randy, his footwork, timing, and match quality is normally peak.
who is this person? I like
That
this
might
man.
be a different
Or
discussion for
female.
another day. We could compare the two at one point.
I like
But
this
yeah,
man.
Shadow, how about you, man?
I gave him a 9.5
Okay.
because the way he, like Cam alluded to, he likes that WrestleMania season moment, right? He is potentially, arguably, today's Mr. WrestleMania. His ability to tell stories in the ring with his body language, the way he sells, the way he's not afraid to do the things with others, he puts them over. I mean, we've seen it numerous times. He also is not afraid to, quote unquote, bury anybody if he needs to. Like, he is that guy that can tell a story. It's not a perfect 10 because of his abilities. He's not a perfect 10, but his ability to tell a story in that ring, the all around in ring work is a 9.5.
So Seth Rollins is one of 3 professional wrestlers that I give a perfect 10 to for in-ring work.
Sean Spears won.
Shut up. Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan are the other 2. I think Seth Rollins is one of the extremely rare talents who can step into the ring with literally anybody and make them look like $1 million fucking dollars. He made Omos look good. That match that he had with Omos last year was actually pretty fucking good. He can literally go with anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. He can go with them and make them look good. I'm sure he was part in The Rock looking as good as he did at WrestleMania too. So, like, the number, and the reason I come to this conclusion too is the number of matches that you can look at that he's done that have just been so incredibly entertaining to watch, down to like the Hell in a Cell with Cody Rhodes, the triple threat with Brock and Cena. Like, it's never ending. His list of matches that are just phenomenal. AJ Styles, pun intended. It's never ending. The only tiny itsy bitsy gripe that I have about Seth Rollins in ring work, and it's not enough to dock him any points. It is he sucks at doing the pedigree. that's it. But anyways, let's go on to promo work. So Seth Rollins has a lot of promos, a lot of good promos that he's cut in his career. But would we deem him elite? Cam, we'll go over to you.
This may be controversial, but I think his promo work is kind of dipped in recent years, and I think maybe that's just because of his more recent gimmick, the visionary and all this, and he kind of focuses on more, I don't know, just being heavily in character. To me, I feel like the height of his promo skills was fresh off of when he turned on the Shield, when he's with the Authority. I felt like he cut more just vicious heel promos, and you just got to hate him, and that to me, I think was the height of his promos. So right now, I would probably give him maybe a 6 out of 10. They're okay. They're good. They're better when you get him in a feud where it's a heated feud. Like The Rock brought the best out of Seth in his promos when they were building up for Mania or whatever. Other than that, if you take him out of or if he's with Drew or something like that, but outside of that, it's like, you kind of get the same thing over and over and over again with him and with promos. So I'll give him a 6.
So before Beck goes, you said that The Rock brought out the best in Seth. So you appreciated the diarrhea Dwayne comments?
No, I meant like that's not what I meant.
I know.
It is funny that you mentioned the turn on the Shield and when he was cutting promos right after that. I think the eulogy of Dean Ambrose promo that he did was one of the best promos ever. That promo was so entertaining and so like it really sold the hatred between them, and I thought it was fantastic. Beck, we'll go down to you.
All right, so this one might be a little underrated. I'm gonna give him an 8.5.
Okay.
I really enjoyed his promo work after the Shield, but for me personally, and this is probably what's going to be underrated, is his promo work as the Messiah during the pandemic. It's just, I don't know. I feel like just being in that empty arena, working with Buddy and Authors of Pain, and just trying out this whole different character, and then not being in front of the fans doing it, not just more or less elevated him in his promo work, but also elevated Buddy and Authors of Pain as well, and just putting that whole team together, and then the whole feud with Ray and Dominic. Honestly, that's probably my favorite work of his. But then after we got the fans back and everything, I say his promo skills with Cody, when Cody came back and he was like, he was standing up in the crowd and he's like, how dare you come back and try to take everything away from me that I've built up and have all your little friends and just try to destroy everything that I've worked hard for. I just, certain certain people that he is in feuds with, when it's not involving a title, I feel like is where he really just specializes his promo skills. But him with a title, I feel like degrades it a little bit because, I don't know, it's just, I love Seth and he's a great champion, but whenever he holds a title, I just feel like his promo skills just linger. So,
Fair enough.
8.5.
Fair enough. All right, Sammy, how about you?
I have to give him I'm not being biased again, but I don't know. I have to give him a 9 throughout his whole career. Like he even mentioned it. I forgot where I read it before, but he does his promos. They're not scripted. He just says what he says straight up. So like that, like we saw who was The Rock had a handwriting on him before when he did his promos. and John Cena called him out on it, like things like that. So like with him, I give him props. It's hard to go like me. I can't do promos for shit. So like I give him props for actually going there without being strict or anything like that, and him just saying what he says. And I'm gonna include his clothing style too with the promos. That's why I'm gonna give him a 9 also because that guy has fashion sense. Let me tell you, okay. All right, because he can, no one can pull off what he can pull off. Like those boots he have, like he pulls them off better than Kanye West. Okay, just saying. But no, I like it. I give props for a man that can just go out in the middle of hundreds and thousands of people and just do a complete promo straight up, no script at all. Like, and some people have to have it. They write it down, memorize it. That'd be me if I ever had to do anything like that. So I give him a 9 throughout his whole career. And now lately with The Rock and all that, he's been killing it in the game. Like what was it? What was it in Vegas? What you call it, Sean? Where you went
The
to
press
the
conference.
press
Yeah.
conference? I thought that was great with him and Cody and The Rock and Roman. I loved it.
It was different.
And he keeps me on my toes. Like, what you gonna do now? What's gonna happen now? So I give him a 9. I love his promo work too.
All right. CJ, how about you, brother?
I'm gonna give him a 7.5, just because of the some of the stuff lately that's been going on. Like with as champion, I agree with Beckett. He is better on his promos without having a championship. And I think just earlier on in his career, he's really good at promos after the Shield turn and all that. And that's where I'm basically basing off my answer off of this. Is just the after the Shield turn, and even with the Shield, they cut amazing promos together. And Seth was the main stage of those promos sometimes, and that's what about it.
Dude, those backstage promos that they did where they were just filming it on a grainy ass cell phone. That shit was so cool. Like that set them apart from everybody back then. I loved it.
Exactly.
TJ, how about you?
See, I'm gonna throw a weird fucking number out there. I'd give him a 8.75. The reason why is because he's always been solid when it comes to the promos. I think the worst promo I've ever heard from him is probably the diarrhea Dwayne. It's probably the worst I've heard from him. But I wanna push him up to a 9 because yes, it's definitely harder to cut promos as a face as opposed to a heel because you gotta still be the good guy, but he really nailed that shit anytime he was facing Roman. So 2022, I believe it was, when he was challenging Roman at the Rumble, when he brought back the Shield and was like, I created you, and now I have to destroy you. And then he cut one recently. I think it was when he was telling Cody, like, let me be your Shield. When he just goes into depth about, like, how the Shield really was this one unit, like a Jenga tower, if you would, and how Seth pulling himself out collapses the whole tower. Just the way Seth knows that he is the true foundation of Roman, essentially, and just conveys that through the mic, that always will push him over the edge, in my opinion, when it comes to promo skills. So even if he'll have his diarrhea Dwaynes, there'll always be 3 more I made you and can destroy you promos that will always sound different from the previous one to me. So for that, I will edge him up to a 9.
Fair enough. Sean, how about you?
I think I'm like everyone's saying, like, other than like, I think my favorite work he's been doing is the Visionary lately. It's so out there, and like Sammy said, his attire too is so out there. It gets me questioning, like, the fuck is this man wearing? Like
Becky's wardrobe more. Yeah.
But him just going out there cutting promos, whether it's wacky or super serious, like we've seen with The Rock and Roman lately. He just knows how to bring this aura with his fucking visionary gimmick. Like he may look goofy sometimes, but he also brings that aura. So for me, I'm gonna get the 8.
Okay, fair enough. Shadow.
Yeah. Y'all way too nice to this man. Shield, I give him a 7. Everything since then, maybe a 4. Sorry, but he gets long-winded at times in his promos. You lose interest really quick at times. So yeah, I'm giving him a 4.
I say a 7.5. And I would say it's a lot of it is because it's when he's motivated. He kind of suffers from the same thing that Randy Orton does. When there's a lack of motivation,
Oh boy,
it's
here we go.
boring, it's long-winded, and you don't really care.
Here we
But
go.
hear me out. Randy's one of my favorites also. Hear me out.
So maybe we get my Randy thing out here
When
now.
Randy Orton is motivated, when Seth Rollins is motivated, and they're enjoying their story that they're in, the feud, whatever, they like the material that they're working with. When they're motivated, they can cut a promo with anyone and be wildly entertaining. Seth Rollins, I mean, the eulogy of Dean Ambrose is the one that I like to go back to. And then there's also, low key, he cut a lot of really good promos on Cesaro when they had their feud. Seth Rollins is one of the best mic workers out there. It's just whether he chooses to actually live up to that tends to be the problem. But for that, I say 7.5. So,
back about Randy.
Randy had some really rough promos based on his opponent. Whenever there's oh yeah, okay, overall 7.5. Wow, dude, you were right on with me. All right, hell
Who
yeah.
is this person?
I have no idea, but I'll take it.
Okay, I like that because they said something about Randy.
What do we think about Seth as a babyface, Cam?
I think I prefer him as a heel. Honestly, I don't know. He plays a really good heel. I think his recent babyface work though, obviously was his best. He's just so over. It's like scary. So I mean, his recent babyface work is obviously his best, but his heel work to me, like before he got hurt, before he tore his ACL, he was on a hell of a heel run. Like it was ridiculous. But for us talking about in his babyface runs, I'm gonna just say, just by how over he is, I'm gonna say I'll give him an 8.5 because he's just so over. It's ridiculous. So
okay, Beck, how about yourself?
I'm lowballing here. I'm going to 4.
Woo!
Listen. It's like I said, Man's is good. He's great. As a heel, perfect. Babyface, absolutely not. And here's the reason. Whenever he's a babyface, it's more or less building up for a title. And it really started during WrestleMania 35 when he was trying to build up for the Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar, and Seth was the ultimate babyface, Brock was the heel, and the fans were all behind Seth. Seth was just, going at it. And then he beat Brock. And then he became champion. And it just went all downhill from there. And it's like I said, Seth is great, but when it's with the title in the picture, I don't know, something just doesn't click, mainly when he is the babyface. And it goes for the same with the World Heavyweight Championship. He is inaugural, new era World Heavyweight Champion. But the build up to that, yes, we were all behind him. Ultimate babyface. He won the title. It was great. We were still behind him. But now, well, not now because he doesn't have it, but when he did have the title, we were still behind him. He was still the babyface. He still had the support and everything. But later on, a couple months down the road, I felt like he was only over due to his theme song. And that's what it boils down to with most of these guys, is they're only over because of their thing. You know, he can stay in the ring for 10 minutes. Everyone can do, whoa, sing a song and everything. But then that's all we get out of it. So I give him a 4 as a babyface.
Whew. All right. Kind of harsh. Sammy.
For a babyface, I like him as a babyface. I don't know why. I'm loving this. Like ever since he won the championship in what was it, July, August? He won it June. I loved him as a babyface. I don't know, but I would give him babyface. I would give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I'm not gonna go for no 9s or 8s this time. But I don't know. I like him as a babyface. Everyone, I feel like even if he was a heel, him in that song, like Beck said, that song gets him over every fucking time. If they sing it, even when they stop playing the music, or even when he's in the middle of a match and they start playing, he'll start going like this, and then everyone knows what to do already when he goes like this. So even heel or babyface, but babyface, I will give him a 7. And Beck said so much, so I'm just gonna keep my answer short and simple.
Okay. CJ, how about you?
I ain't got no explanation. I'm just gonna give him a solid 6.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, give me 1 minute. My thing's about to die.
TJ, how about you, man?
For babyface, I give it a 7, 7.5. When he was first faced, that 2019 run, like y'all said, like once he got the title, it was very wavy and leaning towards the downside. The Visionary, though, this face run has been insane. Do I prefer heel Rollins? Yes, but there was when he came back from the ACL injury, and everyone was treating him like a face at first because it's like, oh, we missed you so much, and for like, if I remember correctly, for like a good month or two, he was played as like a pseudo face, like just that neutral, like I'm here to get my shit back, but also like I do what I got to do, but also I appreciate y'all. And I was like, I'm rocking with this. I don't know why, but I'm rocking with it. But as far as like overall babyface, I think I'm gonna stick with a 7, a solid 7 for that.
Okay. Sean, how about you?
I'm gonna steal CJ's gimmick real quick and just say a 5 with no explanation, just a 5.
A 5 with no explanation. All right, Shadow.
So I'm not trying to lowball Beck here either, but I'm giving him a 3 because, like I alluded to with Wyndham, they don't need to. He doesn't need to be a baby face. He's more dominant in the next category we're about to talk to. So I'm gonna give him a 3.
All right.
And TJ is ordering from fucking Arby's. Number 5.
It's actually Popeyes.
All right, so give me that extra
Hey,
crispy
it's better
chicken,
than
no
Five Guys
biscuit with
like
fries and
Sean.
gravy. Let's go.
Is that
Wait,
a
what's
Five Guys
Sammy?
like Sean?
Why?
Five Guys.
Five Guys
Extra
doesn't have a drive-through. Excuse me.
mashed potatoes,
Funny, but it's fucking funny. Okay.
and give me a piece of that cooked ass.
Anyways, I say as a babyface, I give Seth Rollins a 7, and the main reason is that when he is, I mean, right now the revolutionary character, the visionary character, is incredibly over with the fans. It still is. It will continue to be, especially as he takes what appears to be a leave of absence to kind of heal himself up. The biggest drawback that I will say with Seth Rollins, he falls under the same problem that John Cena fell under and the same problem that Hulk Hogan fell under. And that's when something sticks, he repeats the living fucking shit out of it. And I get that for a lot of like the casual fans, that's fine. But like for people who are,
Like us?
I guess, I don't know how to put this the right way without sounding
People that
like
are
a dick.
diehards like us?
Yeah, like the people who do this, you know what I mean? Who get around and analyze every single aspect of professional wrestling. That shit gets old. You know what I mean? Like sometimes there were times when I was fucking annoyed with Seth Rollins. He's my favorite pro wrestler of this generation. But there are times when I got fucking annoyed with him. So I would say a 7 as a babyface. So now we can kind of Most simplistic version of a face, 4 out of 10. Savage. All right. So now we can shift over
Are we
to.
sure this is not Beckett that's doing this?
We'll shift over to the heel side of things. Cam, what do you got for us?
10. Solid 10. 10. I know I keep going back to this, but like again, like him with the authority was like that's all people used to talk about. Oh, we want the blonde streak back, and oh, we want that Seth back, and I get why, because it was just the best version. You got to think about it. He played the cowardly, savage, desperate heel so well. It was perfect. This man literally threatened to basically cripple Edge with a freaking curb stomp. Like that's the most non-PG savage thing you can do on a PG program for wrestling. So like that right there just sold me on Seth as a heel. Even with no fans as the visionary, like it still was great because
He
he
took Rey
transitioned to,
Mysterio's eye.
he transitioned to a different heel, but he was still vicious in even in that iteration of himself. So it's just like I just love him as a heel. It just works every time. So 10 for me.
All right. Beck.
Perfect 10. I will forever love his work as a heel from the Shield, after the Shield, Visionary, Messiah, Revolutionary, anything and everything. Just that man, he really just takes on the aspect of a whole different persona when he gets into the heel character. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
All right.
We'll keep
Sammy.
it short and sweet.
For a heel, he's a good heel too, I guess. But I don't know why I like him as a baby face. But I'm not gonna go 10 out of 10. I'll give him 8.5. Nah, 8.5, just because I like him as I give him a baby face lower than that, okay?
She only
So
likes the baby face because she's seen the leaked nudes.
Hey, have you seen his news? I have. Oh, speaking of, you're not speaking of that. No, but the only person I love that could be heel or babyface that's amazing is Randy Orton, okay?
Of course.
Sorry.
Of course. Who else would it
It's
be?
good just because I'm biased, okay?
Of
We
course.
don't know that.
Who else
Well,
would it
with Seth, he's a close
Biased,
second
she says.
besides MJF. But no, for heel, I'll give him a 9 actually. I'll give him a 9 for that because he is entertaining. He's entertaining to me both ways, but I really like him as a babyface because I don't know, I don't like heels as much. They really annoy me. So Seth though is not that bad. Just because that's my second baby.
All right.
Well, it's gonna be my third baby now. Shoot.
Oh my lord.
CJ, how about you, man?
Oh, all these baby jokes. Huh?
10. 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh.
Dude's fucking amazing. I don't care. I don't care. That Shield turn was the greatest thing that I've ever watched. So much storytelling in that. Come on.
I guess we know how CJ feels about it. All right.
I know. Say it again. Say it with your chest, CJ.
Say it with your chest.
I think he did.
TJ, how about you, man?
I mean, I gotta agree. A solid 10 out of 10. And first of all, I'm not even gonna say because of when he threatened to cripple Edge, because first of all, that's a 20 out of fucking 10 right there. The way that man literally looked at me and said, either bring Triple H back or I'm putting his ass in a wheelchair. I was like, damn, I don't know about you, but I'd call Triple H right the fuck now. But for me, the 10 out of 10 came during the Messiah era when this man literally said, Rey Mysterio, you don't need 2 eyes. Let me get rid of one of those for you. And took this man's fucking eye out. I was like, nah, this man's a different breed. Ain't no fucking way. He really just said, fuck your vision. Like,
fuck your vision.
10. For show you right
He is the
on.
visionary.
10.
Sean, how about you?
I'm gonna go 10 out of 10 as well. Like
Oh
I
my
was,
god. Then he takes my answer.
I was in the stands up in WrestleMania 31 watching Roman and Brock, and I was like, please, dear God, please let something happen, dear God, because I hated both Roman and Brock. It's like, fuck. Can this not be a shitty ending? Out comes Seth Rollins with that briefcase, the most iconic cash-in history, and I was there for it, and I loved it. And then just like him being that cowardly heel with the WWE Championship was just, mwah. I fucking love Seth Rollins. I'll give him a 10 out of 10.
So, and it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I will throw this out there. That match between Brock and Roman at WrestleMania 31 was a really good fucking match, but no one wanted either of them to win it. That was the thing. So, like, yeah, they put on a fucking show, but the only way that match should have ended was the way that it ended. And I think that was perfectly booked, and that's fucking cool that you got to see that in person. So that means you also got to see Seth Rollins be instrumental in the greatest RKO of all time.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hands down the greatest RKO of all time.
It was. They both did great. I'm sorry. I'm reading Scouse's freaking comment right now.
but I want to make a point about that, Scouts. Brock Lesnar is blonde, and I don't like him. Well, I don't hate him, but I don't like him.
Oh, there you go.
I do like Cowboy Brock, but that's
Shadow.
So before I give my rating, I just want to apologize to the lady that sat in front of Sean at WrestleMania because he busted his load so hard.
Is that why you're not allowed close to a school?
Fuck off, Shadow.
Had to. I'm gonna go 9.9.
Okay, don't feel bad now that I did a 9. Okay. Thank you,
I
Shadow.
feel like that 0.1 could still be worked on, and I think we'll get it when he comes back. But I also want to give a shout out to Wyndham here because we don't get the Messiah without that feud with Bray. Because he changes everybody, right? So that's how we got the Messiah. So 9.9.
I will say a 9.5.
Okay.
And
I'm not getting my answer.
I'll say this. Yes, Cam brought up the whole crippling edge thing. That even, I mean, I was a teenager and I'm still like, what the fuck? This is messed up.
God, you're young.
I'll also throw this out there. He has been instrumental in getting Cody Rhodes over as a massive babyface twice. First time was when the Shield was feuding with Cody Rhodes and Goldust in 2013. Amazing feud. Cody Rhodes was never as over in WWE to that point as he was during that feud. Fast forward to 2 years ago. Cody Rhodes shows up at WrestleMania, hits a trifecta of victories against Seth Rollins, and only Seth Rollins could realistically face somebody 3 times in a row, lose to them every single time, and still be the top heel on the show. I think he is without Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins wasn't the guy that Cody Rhodes went after first, Cody Rhodes wouldn't be where he is right now. I think he would have sputtered. He would have fallen apart. I think Seth Rollins was crucial in that, and his heel work was a big reason of that.
And we owe that to Roman and Brock for not having that day one match.
Absolutely, 100%. I know it was difficult for me to do this, but go back and watch that Hell in a Cell match between Cody and Seth. Seriously, go watch it again.
No, I'm good.
So the psychology that Seth Rollins puts into that match is fucking amazing.
I don't ever want to see Seth in a Hell in a Cell again because of what happened with the Fiend. So
I think he more than redeemed himself.
Try being there live, Shadow, when that happens.
Out there real quick.
So we'll go on to his overall body of work. Just
Nate,
what's up, CJ? Yeah.
Hey, I got something to say. I wanted to add on something.
Sure.
What you mentioned about the whole Edge thing. My favorite theme song of all time is Edge, and I've always been an Edge guy. Having that, I was fucking young. I was a kid. I was watching TV. I was crying.
Oh,
That's exactly. I was so upset. That's another reason why I gave him a 10 because of that shit. That was.
Oh yeah.
fucking poor CJ has PTSD from Seth Rollins.
And so, and yes, I love that.
I do have PTSD.
And I love that too. But in my head, I compared it to 2009 Bald Randy when he was
Oh.
kicking people's heads clean off their shoulders as if they were field goals.
He was.
I say, you know what? He kicked fucking Linda McMahon. He kicked Vince McMahon. He kicked every single person that went into the ring. He kicked John Cena's father. Punted him. And I think
to see Randy at a retirement home.
And that is the only reason I don't give Seth a 10 is because he only did that once. And he didn't even do it. He threatened to. Randy Orton straight up booted people's skulls off their shoulders, all right?
That's a good heel right there.
Seth Rollins popped the legend's eye out.
Randy RKO'd Hulk Hogan, okay, in front of his daughter.
Can I?
Randy Orton RKO'd his own dad.
That's the biggest babyface move I've ever heard. It's RKO and Hulk Hogan.
Can I add something to the Edge comment real quick?
Yeah.
So growing up, Edge was my first favorite of all time. Like I loved Edge. I loved his heel work. I loved everything about Edge. And then Seth came along. Edge wasn't really around because he was retired. So I was like, okay, here's this new guy. Let me, I was really starting to hop on the Seth bandwagon. And then I was like, okay, this guy's freaking amazing. I love this dude. But I was still always, Edge was always like my number one. Because he was the first guy that I just like really gravitated towards. But when Seth had Edge on the ground, I was like, you better mess this motherfucker up. I was like, you know what, Edge? Nah, you're done. It's over. If John Cena doesn't bring Triple H back, you're done. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
You, but get out of here.
All right, so let's rate Seth Rollins' overall body of work. Just as an overall performer, give me a quick 1 out of 10. Cam?
I'm gonna give him a 9.
9? All right. Beck?
Give him a 9.
Sammy?
I give him a 9.5.
Which he doesn't have.
Jesus Christ.
TJ, I see you pacing over there.
Here, baby.
9.
A 9? All right. TJ?
I'll be the odd one out.
When did TJ get home?
Yo, man. Motherfucker don't mess around about his Popeyes. He probably already ate it all.
Toilet? Is that the shower?
I just started. Okay.
My ass dude,
but
Popeyes is so
seriously,
fucking good. That would have been gone before I got home.
Are you in your shower? Are you in the bathroom right now, TJ?
No, I'm in my living room.
He's frozen now.
Why does it look like a shower curtain?
Why are you judging this man's decor?
She's
Like,
calling,
Right.
just so everyone's aware.
Hating on this man's decorations in his house.
She is calling TJ broke because he has a shower curtain as a curtain.
It's not even a shower curtain. It's a legit blackout.
Hey, TJ,
that's
it's
crazy.
legit
Okay.
Yo,
shower curtain.
TJ, when you're done with my grandmother's tablecloth, I'm gonna need it back, okay?
Wow.
It looks like a
That's
shower curtain.
crazy.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Maybe it's just
said that's crazy.
I'm
Sean,
on the toilet. I'm sorry. Like, who does that these days?
Jesus Christ. I'd
He's
give
on
it a
camera.
9.5.
Shadow.
9.5.
Sorry.
9.5?
TJ.
Might as well talk about fucking fashion since we're talking about Seth. Shit.
I'm gonna give him like a 9.5. What is your favorite moment or promo from Seth Rollins? Cam?
My favorite moment from Seth, I think, is when he came back from injury, because that was crazy because it was so unexpected. And you gotta think, this man tore everything in his knee pretty much. And when he came back, he's sprinting to the ring. Like nothing happened. He's full on sprinted to the ring.
And delivered an awful pedigree to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, one of the worst pedigrees you've probably ever seen in your life. But still, it was a crazy moment. Like I was freaking out. I'm running around my house like a maniac.
Dude, the crowd went crazy. So like they were booing because Roman Reigns had just beaten AJ Styles.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden the crowd's loud as fuck. You're like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh, fuck it, Seth. Oh, okay. that was badass.
That was insane. So that's probably one of my favorite moments from Seth because that was just wild.
Right. Beck, how about you?
This might be a repeated answer, but when he cashed in at Mania, because I was 14 sitting on the couch, and when I tell you I went from this, I almost touched the ceiling because I almost jumped off that motherfucker. I was just like, damn, it's happening. And at that point on, I was just like, all right, yep, Seth is top dog. He's in it now. He knows what he's doing. He found himself. He truly has strayed away from the whole Shield, and just enjoy the ride Rollins is taking you on.
So you almost Mick Foley'd yourself? Is that what
Absolutely. I would have 1,000%.
All right. Well, I guess we'll wait for Sammy to come back, but we'll go ahead and slide over to CJ.
No. That's not how this works. That's how.
Oh yeah.
No. Hold
Beautiful.
on now. That's not how this works. Oh my God. All right, Gatsby, what you got for us?
Besides your shotgun.
Okay, I'm surprised no one said this moment. It was 2017. I'm watching NXT TakeOver. I'm like, yeah, and all I hear is, hold up! The show's called TakeOver, right? Well, I'm taking this bitch over.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, yo! My man called his shot. I was like, nah, this is the GOAT. I was like, fuck everything else. Fuck everybody else. Fuck you,
between
Triple H,
two
you bald
matches.
bitch.
He's like, if I can't get you on Monday Night Raw, Triple H, I'm fucking coming to your house and we're doing it here. Like, let's go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
incredible storytelling that almost got fucked up because Samoa Joe hurt Seth Rollins' knee.
Yes.
Ooh.
That was nasty too.
That made me so nervous because I thought he was done.
I was like, bro, not
Sammy.
again. I was like, we just got him back.
Mhm.
Sammy, favorite Seth moment?
WrestleMania 31,
The cash in or the RKO?
the RKO, of course.
I have to ask
Oh
with
my
you.
gosh.
Yeah. I have to say the
course,
RKO
of
because
course.
That's
he
crazy.
He got
His
so
favorite moment is him getting RKO.
No,
That's
but
crazy.
Seth played it well
Yo.
though, too, okay? Because him and Seth had to plan it perfectly, and they did. And if it wasn't for Seth, that could have not been a good. I know they tried it a couple of times, RKO, and they could never land it. And they finally said, let's try it one more time, and they did it actually.
And if I remember that interview correctly, it was Randy Orton's decision. In the middle of the match, he goes, "Fuck it, let's try it," and they did it.
Yep.
And
yeah, if it wasn't for Seth that helped him out, that did it well, he wouldn't have been the greatest RKO ever.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he did that now off of Randy Orton's back? He'd get about 10 more feet of air off that bitch. That dude is yoked.
Oh, he is so. Oh God, he's so. Whew. All right, I got.
All right.
Okay.
We got.
All right.
Calm down. She's all pregnant and
Calm down.
hormonal.
Okay,
All right.
I'm ready.
He gonna be higher than me.
He's the best he's ever been his whole entire
Favorite Seth
career.
moment.
Okay.
My turn now?
Yeah, we'll go over to you.
I think
I
so.
do need a cold shower. I think so. I got
Can
my
I
man
just say-
with me too.
Can I just say how Beck made me feel hella old when he said he was 14?
All right.
Watching WrestleMania. Like I was there in my 20s, all right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm mid 21.
I'm the oldest
I'm mid
one of
20s.
all
I'm
you
mid
guys,
20s now.
okay? So don't even get me
So-
started.
My favorite moment, of course, is the cash in. Being there live, screaming my head off, just going back to my room, can't sleep because fucking all that energy is like Seth's the champion. Like I was just ran in my room, told my mom, I was like, hey, fucking Seth Rollins the champion. Fuck yes, fuck Brock Lesnar, fuck Roman. She's like, so I'm glad. So
You said that to your mom?
Yeah. She's like, so I get that you had fun. I was like, hell yeah. Like,
Yeah, but it's 3 a.m. Can you leave me alone?
oh, not on the West Coast. It was on the West Coast, so it was like 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So
Still.
but yeah, it was the cash in.
Fair enough.
I have 3, but I'm only gonna say 1 because Nate still has to go.
You're good.
My one, okay, well, I'll name 2 real quick. One, when he debuted with the Shield, because I knew who he was, because I watched NXT. 2, when he became the inaugural NXT champion, beating Jinder Mahal, and showing WWE that indie darlings are a thing.
Do not hinder the gender.
Do not.
Okay. What about Ginger?
My favorite Seth Rollins moment, and I'm surprised no one else brought it up yet, is the moment that he took that steel chair to Roman Reigns' back. Couple of reasons for that.
That was my third.
WrestleMania?
Couple of reasons for that. When he turned on the Shield, as he was rearing back and swinging the chair, you could hear one lone person in the crowd yell, "No!" Fucking hilarious. I love when they catch just a random fan saying something in the crowd. It's so goddamn funny.
Like that Roman girl is like.
You need a whole crowd of people to acknowledge your bitch ass.
Or like the fucking Batista. You hear the little kid in the crowd. I hate you, Batista. He just goes, I hate you too. Yeah, shit like that. But also that moment immediately made 3 main event superstars. It made Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose / John Moxley, and Roman Reigns main event superstars for the rest of their careers. Period.
Well, up until 10 days ago, every member of the Shield was a champion over that course of 10 years.
Yep.
Oh.
And it was like 5 days where we had nobody from the Shield as a world champion until Moxley won the New Japan.
Yep. Like to the point where they trusted Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to main event a pay-per-view when they were just coming out of the Shield. I think it was the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
They let them main event, and that match was incredible. Marred by interference from Bray Wyatt, which Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt don't really seem to have good luck with Hell in a Cell matches, did they?
Not really.
But yeah, that heel turn has got, I mean, it's one of the best heel turns of all time. It's top 3, like with Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan turning heel. Are there any, well, I guess, what's your favorite match from Seth Rollins, Cam?
Well, that is tough because there's a bunch. Well, one of them's probably the Hell in a Cell with Cody. I think that was crazy. Another one I think would be the WrestleMania match with him and Triple H. Because and not only that, but just the gear that Seth had, that golden black gear was just that was his best gear. I don't care what anyone says, that was crazy. So I love that match as well. I don't think I could think of anything else. I mean, he's just such a great performer. There's just so many of them. So that's 2 I can name off the top of my head.
Also, mad respect to Stephanie for taking a fucking table bump off the apron in that match.
Yes.
Beck.
I'm gonna go with 2. The first one is gonna be the triple threat: Seth, Cena, Brock, Royal Rumble. It's iconic. I mean, say what you want about Brock, say what you want about Cena, but like that 10, 15 minutes, I think it was just spots after spots. Seth flying off the top rope, putting Brock to the table, just him and Cena in the ring one-on-one, just putting on a classic. Brock coming back. It's just the way Seth sells an F5 is just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the other one is going to be the Seth and Cena match at SummerSlam. I believe it was. Yes. When it was the WWE. Yeah, when it was the WWE title and the United States Championship getting unified. Well, not unified really, but Seth being the only one to hold both those titles at the same time.
Legendary.
In WWE history. And just the way he elevated both WWE and United States, didn't make one feel more, prestigious than the other. It was great. So I'll just throw those 2 out.
Oh yeah. Sammy?
Well, I was gonna say the triple threat match, like Beck said, but the one I think it was the match that the Shield came out, the TLC match versus Team No. I think it was Team No and Ryback.
Oh, Team Hell No and Ryback, yeah.
Yeah, Team Hellback. Yeah, I think that was their
Team Hellback.
Oh my god.
I know what you mean.
Because thank you. Because that's when you got to see all 3 men together, and you got to see the beginning of the Shield. And I feel like the Shield is what made Seth throughout his career. So it's between the triple threat match and then the TLC match with the Shield versus Team Hell No and Ryback.
I'm gonna get 2K now and create a team called Team Hellback.
Team Backshot.
CJ, what about you? Since I'm not sure what Nate's doing. What about you, CJ? What's your favorite match? CJ, you're on mute, buddy.
CJ.
I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, God, tell us
All
your
right,
opinion. You
hey.
think you're on mute talking to yourself. You're like a
No,
He
crazy
does that anyway.
cat man.
Talking at all. I was just thinking. Oh, jeez. Him and Finn Balor had a few classics. Him and Cody, Hell in a Cell. It was a really good match. That was probably my favorite match. The gear, number one, shot at Cody with the polka dots. Such. With the broken pec, that added so much to the story. He needed that.
Fair enough. TJ, how about you?
I gotta go with also. I got a few. First, the SummerSlam 2015 against Cena because love that match. Also, it's my favorite Rollins attire of all time.
Oh, yes,
the
the
fucking
white,
white
the
and
white.
gold.
Oh,
Jeez. But
I
also,
have that top vinyl.
oh my god, it's so good. But also the triple threat at the Rumble because the fucking frog splash threw Brock on the table. Jesus.
Yes, sir.
Sean?
I have 3.
No, Jesus.
One, because I was there live and I witnessed it. It was perfect.
Hold on,
Ed-
pause. Hold on. Can you just stop rubbing it in that you were there for all these moments?
I was there for this. I was there for that. I was there for this. I was there for that.
Well, it was SummerSlam 2021, Las Vegas, Edge versus Seth Rollins. And that's when Edge brought back the Brood music. Fucking popped hard for that.
Oh yeah, that was badass.
I bet he did.
Shut up, Shadow. Two would be Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight title at Night of Champions. And 3, because it gave us the iconic Blue Tista, Shield versus Evolution.
Okay. That's a random one. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
No, it was just completely random. Beck, which ones did you say?
The Rumble and the
Triple threat.
SummerSlam Cena and Seth match.
Arguably, because it features 2 of my favorites, is the Wyatt family versus Shield.
That was a good one.
Obviously,
that was one of those matches where the crowd was chanting "This is awesome" before anyone touched each other.
Yeah, like it was a very iconic moment for 2 stables at that time, right? They're both
All
young
6 men
stables.
standing in the ring, staring each other down. You're like,
another one I already said was when he beat Jinder, showed WWE Universe that indie stars are a thing. And another one is the night that all 3 members of the Shield held the title within minutes of each other.
Oh, I was actually there for that too.
Money in the Bank.
Oh, shut the
Of course you were. Of course you were. Why wouldn't you be?
Sorry.
That was Money in the Bank.
What show haven't you been to? Who haven't you met? Jesus Christ.
He hasn't met
Have you
Jesus
met Randy?
Christ.
There was a match that I did miss that I really enjoyed. This was a live event.
CJ?
This was a live event. This wasn't televised. It was John Cena and Seth Rollins in a tables match.
If you want to go with live event ones, I got to witness him and Becky tag together last year-ish. End of 22. Him and Becky in a steel cage match. But that was at a live event. Go ahead, Nate.
Oh, good. I'm not in the middle no more.
My 2 that I had were the triple threat with Brock and Cena. Fucking phenomenal match, and that was the match along with the match with Dean Ambrose at Hell in a Cell. Those were the matches that basically guaranteed that he was going to be a main event guy for years to come. That match was 2015, I think. Excuse me. The triple threat match. And 9 years later, Seth Rollins is still main eventing pay-per-views and winning titles. And not a lot of people's careers last that long. He's been here since 2010, and he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Excuse me. And then, of course, the Wyatts versus the Shield. That was a match we never really knew we needed until we got it. We're like, oh, yeah, this is it. This is why we do this.
I do. If you're sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm good.
Another one that I want to mention is CM Punk versus Tyler Black.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The Ring of Honor matches. Like he put out a lot of bangers in Ring of Honor, man. A lot of people don't understand that, especially because they're just WWE fans. Go watch some of his work in Ring of Honor, and I guarantee you'll see why he is the man he is today.
Oh, yeah. He put on a fantastic Matt Sydal back in Ring of Honor a long time ago. That match was a fucking banger. If you have a chance, go watch it.
Dude in the comments is saying Tyler Black versus Davey Richards was good too.
Davey Richards. That must have been his last match in Ring of Honor because that was right before he went to FCW, I'm pretty sure.
And I did want to mention another one of my favorite Seth moments was when the same live event that he faced John Cena, I was in the front row, and he told
damn.
TJ out of nowhere.
So I got to meet him earlier on for the live the package for the front row, and I was like, let's go Rollins, and he turned around. This is when he was heel, and he said, "Shut up, kid."
That's funny.
That's probably my Seth moment.
It wasn't a favorite moment. It was more of a fuck you shadow from Seth. But when my daughter got to meet Becky and Seth was there too, and I said, "Hey Seth," and he just kind of walked away like an asshole. He was also in heel character, so I get it. But like, fuck you, Seth.
This one, it's more an Ambrose moment, but it was when he was still Mr. Money in the Bank. He's doing this interview, and then Ambrose dumps the fucking bucket of water on him. And Seth looks at him crazy. He goes, "What? It's
Charity."
for charity." And starts beating his ass.
That shit was funny. Anyways, easiest question I'm going to ask you guys all night is Seth Rollins a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done?
No.
Fuck you. Pretty much a yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a yeah all around.
Absolutely.
Before you end, though, because I know you're getting there, I want you to talk about him and Riddle's feud because that shit went.
Oh my fuck! That's the one I couldn't think of.
So,
fuck all the other moments. That's my favorite Seth moment.
You want to talk about my family? Well, let's talk about your family. Oh wait,
that was
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Was that last year
Yes.
when they got like in each other's face? Like he said, "Oh, we don't have. You can't see your boys," or something like that. Oh
I
my
remember
god,
that
that
shit
was
word
bad.
for word, bar for bar.
If I could just say something, I think that was one of the very first instances of a Triple H run creative where Triple H doesn't treat us like we're fucking stupid.
Or just
one.
Or children.
We know that Matt Riddle had said some really dumb shit in the past about Seth and Becky. We know that they had some real beef with each other. Anything that we know about Seth Rollins is he will put that beef aside for the betterment of the company. Every single time he will do that. Yep. He is a consummate professional. So for them to blend that reality with that storyline and for Seth Rollins to be able to go along with it, fucking incredible. And that was the first indicator of Triple H being like, we know the wrestling fan today is smart. We don't have to treat them like they're fucking stupid anymore.
That's because Triple H knows how to treat a real world situation and a storyline. He's done it before.
He likes to blend the reality.
Doing it right
He
now.
did it for years in NXT, man.
See, I also love about that segment is how it was it felt like it was a shoot moment. The way Seth was just like, "Hey, Riddle, you still there?" And Riddle's kind of like, "Yeah, bro." As if like, "Oh, camera's off," and he goes, "Nah, fuck you, bitch. Your family don't love you. Your wife, your kids. Fuck you, bitch." I was like, "Oh, damn." Oh.
Isn't that
Let's talk about my family. Let's talk about your family.
I might be wrong,
Oh my god.
but isn't that the feud that concluded in the fight pit?
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
the one.
that's
Which
when
When he had the
Bray
RVD
returns.
gear, yo, that shit was
Thus,
crazy.
who returns after that?
Yeah.
Hey,
Bro,
hey, guess
bro.
what? Hey, guess
Shadow.
what? Guess what,
You
Shadow?
said
I was
you
there for that.
You
I was there
motherfucker.
for that. I was
Okay, Sean Jr. Okay, Sean Jr.
Shadow, I'm not gonna lie. When the lights went out, I'm pretty sure we all knew, but it reminded me of the Fiend attacks. I was like, Riddle, your bitch ass better move. You're in prime
He was still on
position
the
right
fucking
now.
stage.
He was
Yeah.
still on the stage and it was going choom, choom. I was like, oh, you about to
You're like,
die.
oh.
You about to get it.
shit.
Ooh, excuse me. So, anyways, before we sign off tonight, guys, I think this was a very, very
This was
good
fun.
discussion.
I
Before we
think
sign off, I want to
Nice.
hear what kind of dream matches you want to see Seth Rollins in. Cam, hit me with it.
This is a sad one because I would have loved to see him versus Eddie Guerrero. Dream matches. The obvious one I think is him versus Kenny Omega would be dope. I think. Him versus Will Ospreay. Him versus CM Punk, which is probably a realistic thing since they're both the same company. Just have to get CM Punk healthy. What else?
Dude's made of glass.
Has he fought Gunther? I don't know if he's
No.
fought Gunther.
I
I
don't
would like
think
to see him
so.
fight Gunther. Why not? I don't see why not.
Can we just say how Gunther's not the champion anymore?
Okay,
Fuck off,
relax.
Sammy.
Oh my
Relax.
god.
Fuck off, Sammy.
Black.
But it's the one
He said
time
black.
I say Gunther's the
Here's another one that won't. Here's another one that
one
won't happen.
time.
Here's another one that won't happen because he's retired now. But I think him versus Dean Malenko would be good.
Dean Malenko was a technical mastermind, dude.
Yes, he was. So yeah.
Beck, how about you, brother?
What dream matches have we not gotten yet?
I mean, he just named
mean,
like 4.
Okay. Anyway,
Shockmaster.
damn.
We're not talking about your sex life, Nate.
Doink the egg.
God damn it.
I don't have one of those.
Oh damn.
Anyways,
Doink the clown.
honestly,
All right, come on.
I would like to see the student versus the teacher. Have Seth and Nathan Fraser. I feel like in the future we will see them two in the main event together.
All right. Sammy.
I have 2. I would say I think it'd be nice because they're both like NXT like men on top, and they're both NXT. Braun Breaker versus Seth because they're both NXT like men, like they're both on top of their games. I know it might sound weird, whatever. And then also, I'm not sure. I don't think this match ever happened, but Seth versus Jeff Hardy. I would.
Sammy,
like to see
do I
that
have a
match.
match for you?
I'm not sure if they ever performed or not, but they're both.
Seth and
enough
Braun
like-
did. I don't think him and Hardy have, but Seth and Braun faced off
They have
on
had a
NXT.
match?
Yeah,
And then
Will's naming off some good
I
ones.
watch that then. Okay, but Jeff
and it was
Hardy
just
and
as good
Seth.
as you think it would be too.
It was good. Okay, so I think it'll be a good dream match. But Jeff Hardy, because they're both with their stunts that they do and the extreme moves, I
Dynamite
think that'd be
Kid.
a nice match to watch. Is Jeff Hardy versus Seth? Give
CJ.
me that thing.
All right. So I was booking matches the other day, so this is great for me. I really want to see like a newer guy with. I'd really want to see Ricky Starks with Seth.
I can see that.
Or I don't know if we've got it before, but I would if Kofi was who he was a little bit ago, by
You're making me crazy.
great single star world champion material Kofi Kingston. Like I want to see him versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, my bad. I thought we were talking about like 2009. My bad.
No,
Did we? I think we did. I think
do.
it was that Raw after Mania 35.
They went 1-on-1.
Oh yeah, they did.
Because that's when Brock came out, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, or was that a month
No.
later?
Someone interfered, but I don't remember who. Someone interfered and it ended up being a tag match after that. I don't remember who it was.
Adam Cole versus Seth Rollins. I'm sure we've seen that before in Ring of
Super kick
Oh.
party.
and Pentagon Jr. versus Seth Rollins. That's another one.
Mm.
All right. Gatsby.
I need Mello versus Seth.
Oh, yeah.
I need to see Osprey and Seth at some point.
Yes.
Kenny and Seth, obviously. There's a couple of them there. This next one, realistically, it probably won't happen given where Seth is in his career unless he says fuck it and goes another 10. Give me, not debuted yet, though, Carmelo Knight versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh my god.
I'm starting training this summer. If Seth is going, if it stays in for at least another 5, it could possibly happen.
Okay,
What
Mr.
about that
Carmelo.
new guy,
Knight, I
Javon
can do
Evans?
that.
Bro, Javon Evans versus Seth. Oh my god.
Oh, that would be nice.
Ooh.
That would
Or
be
Seth
nice.
and Ilya too.
I got you.
Yes.
Sean, how about you, brother?
All right, so I got a few as well. Number 1, Seth Rollins versus Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, everybody said it, so I'm going to say Shawn Michaels versus every member of the Elite. You know, Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins.
We're on Seth Rollins. Honey.
Seth Rollins versus every member of the Elite. Seth Rollins versus Shane Strickland will be a good one.
Ooh. Okay.
And he's not debuted yet, but Seth Rollins versus Jacob Fatu.
That
man's a tank.
Carmelo Knight again.
I thought he was gonna say Carmelo Knight.
I know. I thought so too. I was like, great, another Carmelo Knight fan. Here we go. We got fans, CJ. Oh, Carmelo Knight. I mean,
Who the fuck is Carmelo Knight?
it's
me.
Oh my god! I guess
And
I'm
I'm the one who hasn't been here forever.
CJ has entered the chat.
Yeah, right.
Bro, I'm okay. Let me be honest. I haven't talked to TJ in a fucking year.
Oh, MJF was one of my
Oh
other ones.
my
I forgot.
god! Yes.
They cut the promo.
Oh, that sexy piece of man meat. Oof.
Shadow, how about you, brother?
Sorry.
Everybody quiet now? Okay, cool. Like Will said, you know, Chris Benoit versus Seth. That would be a good one. Little pop for little belt collector Mike. Give me Seth versus who's that? Who's the best champion in the world for WCW? That was Arquette.
Seriously?
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. Give me Okada versus Seth. Give me Omega versus Seth.
Oh my
Give
god.
me Osprey versus Seth. It's all gonna sell and it's gonna fuck so hard. There was another one, Prime Shawn Michaels. Obviously has to be Prime Michaels.
Coke bag Michaels, yeah.
Perk Angle versus
Oh, God.
Perk Angle,
Perk Angle. Peak.
my
you know?
favorite. My favorite.
Why does Seth Rollins always have to feud with members of the Shield?
Another
I see
one.
what you did there.
We already got technically
And DX.
we already technically got this in a way, and it won't happen. Brody Lee versus Seth. That would go good. And there was one more, but I don't really remember now. So because Sean being there every time, so I don't know.
You know what else probably would have hit? Visionary Seth versus like Wyndham's latest character. Like I feel like this iteration versus Visionary Seth would have been a really good fucking match.
We probably would have got it too.
Seth versus Josh Alexander.
Seth versus Wesley.
I get to meet Josh Alexander this weekend.
Seth,
damn it, Sean.
anybody in Impact or
You mean Sean? You mean
Just
everybody?
the whole company. Seth versus
Who
Teenage.
changed Sean's name? I
Handicap.
like that.
I was there for
that.
So I have a couple.
Whoever did that,
One of the
that's
big
amazing.
ones lately that we might end up actually getting would be Seth Rollins versus Ilya Dragunov. I think he is I think he's a world title contender in the very near future. Give him maybe 2 years. Prime HBK is also another one that I would always want to see, and obviously we can't unless another Saudi show happens, I guess. But
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
Greatest
Seth
tag match of all
Rollins
time.
versus a prime Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm.
Ooh.
Seth Rollins versus current Rock. Because of the story they have already built in, I think there's a point where The Rock will face Seth, and then Cody, and then Roman Reigns. I think that is the order that needs to go precisely. Excuse me. And Seth could get a good match out of him. And then finally, and this is just in terms of finishing the story,
Oh Jesus.
I need a 60-minute Iron Man match between him and Roman Reigns.
What?
They have to finish their story, man.
Yes.
They have been tied
Yeah.
together since they stepped onto the main roster.
The
And
ultimate
Seth
payoff.
Rollins has clearly been in the back of his mind the entire time,
That's
where
a
he
bit
never
right
trusted him in their first reunion. He didn't trust him. I mean, Seth got in his head with the Shield entrance at the Royal Rumble a couple years back. He's just always been in Seth's head to the point where they completely recreated the Seth Rollins heel turn at WrestleMania.
60 minutes, sir?
Yeah,
60
he wants
fucking minutes.
I know what he's going for. He wants that Sean Brett payoff.
Yeah.
That's exactly that right there.
Absolutely. And I will say this, as great as the Sean and Brett story was, this is better.
It's got more layers to
Honestly.
This is a better story. Are they better workers than Seth and Brett or than Sean and Brett? Probably not. But they can tell a better story with the story that they have already. Shadow, sorry.
I have two more, and neither of them are going to happen. One isn't going to happen for obvious reasons when I say it. Two, unless something changes, it's not going to happen. Rhea Ripley versus Rollins.
Oh my God.
Like, I'm not even just saying that because you look at Rhea. If she was a man in this situation, that'd be the perfect matchup. Or if Seth was a woman. That's
Seth
the
versus
perfect.
Becky. Winner gets the house on the door. Let's go.
Exactly.
I had the same match, but under different circumstances. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah.
The second match that I have, mainly because this was one of my idols when I was a young Shadow, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, Bonesaw is ready.
The pageantry alone, man. The costumes
Just
alone.
think of it. Just think of Macho Man saying, "You've only been here for a cup of coffee," and he runs a coffee shop, so it'd be even funnier.
Can it be sponsored by Slim Jims as well?
Listen, we're not talking about your penis, Mr. Slim Jim.
So, all right. So to kind of wrap this up, in my personal opinion, I think Seth Rollins is one of the most undervalued by the fans. I think he is the perfect mixture of Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho, and I'm going to explain that. Shawn Michaels was a guy who could get in the ring with anybody and put on a fucking great match. That is Seth Rollins. Chris Jericho is a guy who continuously adapted and changed throughout the times to keep himself over as the audience changed with him. I think Seth Rollins has done a great job of that also. I think he knows exactly what to do and when to do it. Sometimes I don't think he's allowed to. But now I think with Triple H in charge, I think that's going to be a lot easier. I think they're going to know that Seth Rollins probably has to turn heel soon when he comes back. But I think Seth Rollins is the perfect mixture of those two for this generation, and that's how I feel about it.
Makes sense.
So, before we sign off, Cam, where can we find you?
Oh man, you can find me right here on the network every single Friday night with Friday Night Review with Scows and of course Jamie Rose on Rivet City Radio every single Monday night with the Table Spot after Monday Night Raw, and then every single Wednesday night after Dynamite with the Boom with me, Phil Kahn, and of course Metalcore Mike. And then on socials, you can find me on Twitter /X at CamandCheese317. And of course, this is Nate's favorite part. If that does not sizzle your bacon, you can find me on Instagram at 317 Bacon Eggs and Cam.
Let's go. Back, where can we find you?
That's perfect. I loved that. Bacon, eggs, and Cam. That was great. All right, sorry. Anyways, all socials, Mr. Beck00, and that's about it. I'm basic.
Wow,
Nothing
that
special.
was very fast.
Oh,
Beck 0
looking like a Texan, man. What?
That was it. We're
Not
done.
everything's bigger in Texas.
Sammy, where can we find you? Besides at the OB office.
Oh, you can find me on SammyXO29 on TikTok and SammyXO43 on Instagram. And that is it.
All right. CJ,
Oh,
Talk
not
Wrestling.
clever.
Where can we find you, brother?
Right there. CJ Talk Wrestling on TikTok, Twitter, and now the newly revamped Indie Wrestling Gazette on the Rivet City Radio channel at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday?
Yep, starting next Wednesday.
All right. Hell yeah. Mr. Gatsby, where can we find you?
You can find me on all social platforms, either at TJ Gatsby, like it says right here, or at the TJ Gatsby. Yeah, or anything main event players. Be on the lookout though. There's another guy on YouTube who has the name Main Event Players. He hasn't uploaded in like 10 fucking years though.
He's a fucking poser.
Yeah, he's a fucking poser.
Right.
That's what he is. Yeah.
All right.
That's where you can find me.
Beta Kitten, where can we find you?
You can find me at the Alpha Wolf Sean B on TikTok, Alpha Wolf Sean B 2.0 on Instagram. Also, you can see me streaming on Twitch throughout the week, Alpha Wolf Sean B, and Thursdays on Twitch, Rebellion Wrestling EFED, where we have tons of fun. Apparently, Sammy and Shadow are jobbers for some reason. So catch me there.
How many obscure 2-star hotel references can you make, bro? Like, goddamn. Find them at your local Days Inn. How's the Super 8 treating you, buddy? All right. Shadow, where can we find you?
You can find me sporadically here on the network. I'm popping up more and more as my schedule lightens up, but it's about to get hectic again, so I'll be here and there. And I also do this every 2 weeks with Nate because I'm here. You can also find me stirring shit up on Twitter with random fucking simps that overboard. Yeah, that was fucked. That guy's Shadow91. You want to listen to some of my takes? You want to see what else I have to say? Just check me out there. Also in the works with Mr. Gatsby down there to do a collab show between Off the Top and the Main Event Players.
Did you say Mr. Gatsby?
Yeah.
Gatsby. All right. You can find me on TikTok at Nate McNamara WB. That's pretty much fucking it. Don't find me anywhere else. I will not talk to you. So, anyways,
God, Shadow, I think I came up with that.
Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Be sure to come back 2 weeks from tonight. We're going to be taking on Bret the Hitman Hart, and it's going to be a lot of fun because y'all know how I feel about Bret Hart. TJ, I want you to join for that. I want you to join for that, please.
to my favorite quote: "If you put an S in front of Hitman, you'll get my thoughts on Bret Hart."
I'll come dressed as Goldberg.
Oh my god!
I'll just start kicking motherfuckers.
I will carry my Shawn Michaels legacy title over my shoulder the whole fucking show.
All right. The title that I convinced you to buy.
I was going to say I'll dress as pants, but never mind. I probably shouldn't do that.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
Boo!